called Jay. There's another one of those lakes.
Look at that.
But I know Shu loves us to watch the road. Here comes a car.
Here is Livermore, right?
We're now in the town of Livermore Falls,
Or Livermore Falls.
where my father was born and graduated from high school in 19...
I think West Maine is very pretty.
Yeah, there was a nice lake back there. But
I should catch it a little bit.
it's hard to show. But trust us when we say it's nice scenery on the sides of the road. There's another farm up on the hill. The cows.
See Sarah get inside.
That's much more attractive. Here's more road. Here's a corner of the road. There used to be a chicken barn on the right. Yeah, it's still there, but you probably can't see it in the camera.
See, they can see.
That's where they raise chickens. Yeah, for eggs. There's some red in the thing. What, honey?
There must be stinks in there.
Oh my goodness, I don't think anymore, but back in the day,
I think Kiki's stinking. Hey, not bring Kiki.
now speed limit slows down. Some trailers, but you can't see that. Well, they're not in the road. On Route 17, heading west, right into western Maine.
Oh, see the Trump sign? Ooh.
Hopefully 10 years from now, we'll say, who was Trump? Coming up on the right is where my grandmother and my other relatives are also buried in this cemetery. It's a nice cemetery as far as cemeteries go.
To the future for us, Alan, Shu, and future Yawen.
See that?
Oh, that's your grandmother here, right?
Yeah. Uncles and cousins.
We will live here.
This is where they go.
Florida.
And if they die in the winter and the ground is too frozen, they go into
This house,
that.
this little house.
It's called a mausoleum. Yes.
Another cemetery.
And this house on the left, on the corner, was where my mother's uncle, her father's brother, used to be a butcher. And I went one time when I was about 8 years old when they butchered a beef, and it was very disturbing to watch how they did it 50 years ago. But it was very effective. Sometime I'll share that with you, but probably not on the video. Coming up on the old Livermore Falls High School.
Okay, I've been here.
It's on the right. But it's up on the hill, so you'll have to trust me, video people, because we're just going to keep filming the road. There's a Toyota truck in front of us.
That's for future us, right? Future mama,
us.
future.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll say,
future
gee, I wonder what the high school looked like. And we'll just say, well, we don't know.
Where?
We never looked
That
at
one.
it up there.
Oh, there. Cannot see.
We need a different camera, future self, that can actually turn. Because this is a nice little road that we're filming.
Okay.
And here's more road. we just buried today was a bookkeeper
Oh.
at Bailey Brothers.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, I feel in the radio.
Now we're downtown Livermore Falls, and one of her favorite places to eat was the Chuck Wagon.
Railway. Is this a restaurant?
There's a restaurant.
Restaurant.
This is Main Street, Livermore Falls. Patriots fan. That's the police station on the left. The
Is this the one?
bandstand in front of you. That's the Chuck Wagon.
Right, that one, the restaurant. With Jenny, I used to be favorite place to eat. I eat here many times. Right.
And this is back on Main Street. And
So we almost turn left to J, right?
we're going to turn left to, well, J is straight,
Oh,
but we're going to turn left to go to where
okay.
my mother used to live. That's Finley Funeral Home up there. So it's a yellow light.
This company used to be called Whittemore.
Yes, it used to be called.
They changed the name.
They did.
Fresh vegetable. And do you remember we ride a bicycle across the bridge here?
There's a policeman.
Oh,
This is the Androscoggin River.
okay, so see that river, that bridge and that river. We used to ride a bicycle across that bridge.
We did.
Yeah.
This bridge. Yeah.
This bridge.
Yeah.
Walk, not ride the bicycle. You ride the bicycle with John. I walk that. Okay, I remember. Here's a big hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the big hill. We'll just take a quick ride up. This is the big hill that my father grew up on. Back in the he was born in 1922. He grew up on the top of this hill. His mother, Julia, came over from Ireland and married a drunk by the name of Ralph Whittemore. Hey, that's our family history. And they grew up very, very poor because he was a drunk. He drank all their money.
So this our family don't drink any alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
We save money by house.
And the house on the left, this little tiny house right here, was where he grew up.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this was where my uncle lived in this house.
Still live here, huh?
No, he's long dead.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh,
just turning around.
oh I see.
Who's barking?
Another dog. Not Kiki, right? Yeah. Kiki.
Oh, and the people who live here are Trumpers. Wow, it's too bad.
One dog barking.
So that's
Kiki. Yeah, that's your father's.
that's his childhood home.
Oh. It's grandfather, right?
My grandmother, grandfather. He was never around. He was always out getting drunk, from what I understand.
Okay, we down the hill.
And we come down the hill. This was the road into town at one time. They then have since built the road around this big hill. But can you imagine in the winter what this road must have been like?
Slippery.
And they had the bridge at the very end, which made sense because it'd be awful hard to stop.
I see.
But you can't see the old bridge anymore.
Okay, stop.
They made a new bridge.
Okay, we used to take the second one. That one.
This is the one, yeah.
Yeah.
We walked this.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you walk this?
Yeah, we walk. We
Walk.
go to buy Dunkin' Donut coffee.
Oh, yeah.
We walk here a lot.
Wow. Forgot that memory.
It's about 1 hour down, 1 hour back. By the Dunkin' Donut
Yeah,
after.
because it's about
Right. 3 miles.
3 miles, something like that.
Yeah. So after we walk here, we get the Dunkin' Donut and coming back.
What by the time we get back to coffee
No, we drink the coffee down there, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby, yeah, so smart.
Yes,
we
you're
don't
too
bring
smart.
home. We
That's
give-
Yawen. That's our baby girl. She's so smart. She goes to the Maine School of Science and Math as a 9th grader. When we watch this in the future, I can't wait to say, wow, she really did it.
She might be college go.
Who knows where she'll be in 10 years. 2030.
She want to be in Seattle.
She wants to be in Seattle today when she's only 16. Sweet 16.
And she want to be walking the Boeing.
She wants to work for Boeing in Seattle, but that's at 15, 16 years of age. Whatever she's doing today, dear future self, and you're here with us watching it, Yawen, we're proud of you. Even if it's not Boeing. If it's Boeing, hey, congratulations!
If not Boeing, I'm still proud of you.
All right.
I used to really love this road.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
This was almost our retirement home, Yawen. Yeah.
Can
could
you
have gone
imagine?
you could go to J High School. Oh my goodness. No, we actually probably would have let you stay at Maine School of Science and Math. Right? If we
Yeah.
lived- yeah.
You will be live here. Yeah, one will
Yeah.
be boarding
Yeah,
student.
you'd be a boarding student.
J High School.
That's where my mother graduated from. And my father graduated from Livermore Falls High School. And I graduated from Rumford High School. We'll see Rumford later.
Okay. Wow, look at how pretty the color, huh? It's really pretty today, the color. Up the hill, so it's not easy, right? Always down.
Oh, that's Democrats.
Nice house.
Good. Ah, looks like they're gonna build a
Oh,
house
build a
here.
new house, huh? Really good. Okay, wow. I still, every time I come back here in the fall, still think here is the very pretty. And your mother's old house that have some tree is very pretty.
I don't know what my mother's house will look like now after
Just take
4 years. How many years?
3.
3 years. She loved that old house. So did my father. He built it for her in 1976.
Your father did a really good job taking care of your mother.
I think so. Honey.
Now you take care of me.
Thank you. Hey, 10 years from now, did you hear that, Alan? You did good. Your wife loves you.
Because I am.
And I take good care of little Yawini, too.
And Kiki.
And
And
Kiki.
And this road is called Crash Road, right?
No, the one we're about to cross.
And
that's
that one
correct.
is called Crash Road.
This is called Godding Road.
Garden Road. And that road, Yawen, you know, that road, the name is called Crash Road. Who want to drive here? Ah, you
Now
kidding
we're
me?
on the Tesha Road.
Okay, I'll show you. 18. You're looking at You can slow down a little bit, okay? So, we should show Yawen how big the property it is.
Still a ways to go.
Yeah. 5 acres.
Ah, new house. No?
No, that's not new house, but they want to build something this way. See, Yawen, it's pretty, yeah. The first time Xiaofeng come, wow, she said, wow.
I did?
Xiaofeng said that.
Xiaofeng.
You've never been here before. How could you say something the first time?
That's a nice house too.
Now we are in J. See how the road got worse?
Okay, cross that water, cross
Across
the
that
bridge.
brook.
Yeah, that one. Walk
That's where
the
my mother
property
and father property used to
right here.
go up through there. All those trees.
All the tree on left side, Yawen. All the left side. Oh, they changed the mailbox. Oh, the mailbox is still here. The
where my mother grew up.
Okay, I want to take this house. That's Virginia grew up the house.
Farmhouse.
Farmhouse.
Didn't
Virginia.
have electricity, didn't have running water.
I want to see the mailbox. That mailbox is
Still there.
yeah, still has sand. I want to see the house. Wow, the house looks settled. They put the basketball.
Let's drive down.
It's okay.
Look at where they.
The tree, I want to see the tree. Used to be very pretty. Even the
Got a basketball.
basketball.
Oh, they never took the blue stuff off the
Yeah.
screen house.
Yeah.
That's the kitchen room.
Kitchen.
Those are blueberries back there.
Every time we left, Virginia just see the window, say goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
To
We
her.
wave goodbye.
Goodbye.
Go like this.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Goodbye, mama.
See how big the house, Yawan.
Had the fireplace.
Yeah. Pumpkin, everything.
Remember we cut that tree down?
Right. Yeah. Do you remember we paint this road? You
Yeah,
and me
yeah.
in one summer.
Yeah. And John and I did it many.
Yeah. Do you remember you played the firewall?
Yeah.
and,
A lot of memories here.
see
This is
that.
where I broke my leg
Where?
skiing on this little hill
Oh, okay.
when I was 8 years old.
Virginia grew up here.
My uncle. A lot of memories.
Hi, Wally and Virginia. Wally, I never see you, but you did a good job with the house.
Well, we'll see them all in eternal life. Wallace and Virginia Whittemore. My mom and my dad.
I still feel it when in the fall. This road driveway is still pretty, huh?
Okay, so now we go to Rumford. Are you okay, little Yawini?
Yeah.
I remember one time Virginia driving me and Eunice. He's 88 years old. He driving me and Eunice go to sell the trash. Eunice see
Go to the
the
dump.
yeah, dump the trash. Eunice, it's okay. 88 years old driver. It's okay. Hey, Virginia take we go to look around. She want to show us Jay. So she go this way, turn around, coming back. She turn left and turn around, go to other bridge, dump the trash and take me and Eunice back.
So, for our future self in 10 years, in case we forget, Eunice was Lija, who was a student that we adopted for 3 years. And then the last year, she turned on us like a rat. I don't have a good memory of Lija. You can edit that out if you want.
What?
We can do it on the way
Back, right?
back.
We can
Buy some apples.
Oh yeah, I think apples in Liverpool for. That's sell pumpkin. We don't need pumpkin this time, right? I don't want to buy pumpkin this year. I like to say J.
Now we're in J.
J.
This is where my mother was born
J.
in 1927. She used to go to school on a horse-drawn sleigh. Can you imagine? paper mills here.
Yeah.
They make paper from trees, from the pulp. And to break the tree down into fiber, it goes through a cooking process using chemicals to break the wood down. And the process smells very bad.
And the rock cabbage.
I think so.
Hey, milk company is left or right side? I don't
To
remember.
the left.
Okay.
But they had a big fire, big explosion.
Just a couple months ago.
And that's the Androscoggin River. I don't know if you can smell anything or not. Can you smell anything?
That river will go to Bouncewood.
Yes, it does. And it goes to Rumford. And it goes all the way to New Hampshire.
Good.
There's the railroad that brings the chemicals into the factory, into the mill.
I saw they want to close that milk company. Huh?
They're trying to keep it open. It had a big explosion. It's all quiet now.
Cannot see the milk company, but we see the river.
It looks so nice. It's still
Stinky.
very dirty. Because they put all those chemicals back into the water.
Still doing that.
Not as much as they did 40 years ago, but I wouldn't eat a fish out of there if there are
Do
any.
you remember we buy pizza here?
Yeah.
Usually they sell the lobster here.
Right, yeah. Do you know that the lobster is the same company
Oh,
that
I
we
don't
buy
know.
in Pascal?
I don't know.
Yeah, Cottrell's.
Control. And they have 410. You write down on the black bag, the 410. I said, oh, you get it? No, this is a 4. I don't remember what she buy. She writes 410. I don't understand why. But when I saw the 410, I said, oh, you mean you get it? 10-4. Sorry, 10-4. And Ghost Street, they have a McDonald's, Hannaford. Right?
Yeah,
You can see McDonald's.
this used to be a little store.
Okay, we keep going.
I didn't think about it.
Kiki is looking for why everything far away from
You know, can you pass me that bag right behind my seat? Thank you.
something
I want to just see what's in it. Potato chips. Bag of potato chips.
good potato chip.
There's not that much in here, honey. Bottle of water. Oh, it's still cold. And then, this is what I was looking for.
Sandwich.
Sandwich. So you'll be able to see the cookie. And that. So, there's the milk.
I can see. Close the window.
I
That's
think
still easy.
we can see it better up here. But now they had a big explosion
Yeah.
this summer,
Yeah.
and it doesn't look like it's working anymore. Oh, It'll clear off one of these places.
Yeah, the tree is still covered.
There's a little island in the middle of the river.
Pretty scary, huh? When that case happened.
Yeah, there's the mill.
Yeah, you can see. Can you open the window? Nice.
bread
Oh, Italian bread.
That's why.
with
Smell.
chicken salad, chicken and mayonnaise.
It stinks.
We're still recording.
Kiki doesn't think it stinks.
Look at her. She's ready to get something. Don't let her come. Nothing about you. What kind of animal? Oh, the birds. He eats some. He had something, huh?
Yeah.
It's changing. Not it's changing. Maybe it's a fish.
Maybe dog.
Turkey, turkey. You almost have a turkey dinner. Turkey, turkey, turkey.
10 turkey dinner.
Bunch turkey
You could
dinner.
have fed the whole time on the limestone with the Yawen driver. To our future self. When Yawen had her permit, she hadn't driven for 7 weeks. So the first time driving, we come across something in the road. And she was correct that it was a bird. So she thought the bird would just fly away. So she never slowed down.
Guess
I
what?
saw that it was a mother bird and there were 10 little birds following her out into the road. By the time she stopped, the turkey was right by my window. I'm in the front seat. And the big old mother bird is staring at me, angry. And then she turned everybody around and said, I guess we'll wait to cross the road another time.
We almost had a whole family.
We almost had a
turkey.
whole turkey dinner. When asked, Yawen, why didn't you stop? I thought they were birds and they'd fly away. So, Yawen, do you have anything you want to add to that memory?
You were in the backseat.
Oh, that's correct. Then we really came up on them. Well past. If I saw them in the back seat, that means we wouldn't buy them.
I guess we did.
Are there any other driving stories we want to talk about our little permit driver?
I will get my license. Driver's license.
God help us. So, to our future selves, Yawen, it's so nice to see you driving such a nice car. And you've been driving now for almost 10 years. Do you have any bird stories to tell us now? Well, let's pause while we hear stories from 10 years in the future. By Yawini Xiao.
I believe now we drive all the way to west, right? The direction is west.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Look how she's sleeping.
She's a kind of spoiled.
Now you start to see the mountains
Okay.
of western Maine. You can smell the cow poo.
Yes. Fresh.
Fresh cow poo.
That's worse than her Italian sandwich.
That side is the river.
Now I want to tell you another story
Okay.
from my history of my family.
Okay.
My mother as you've heard me say a couple times in this episode, was buried today, October 9th, 2020. Her father, Walter Gauding, he passed away back in 1967.
Okay.
But anyway, he was a farmer, and one of the jobs that he had at one point in his life was to take the toll for crossing a bridge. And that bridge was right up here.
Okay.
So if you wanted to cross the bridge back in 1918 or 1920, whatever, a long time ago, you'd pull up here on your car or also your horse. And you would stop here. The bridge that was here back then is long gone. This is a new bridge.
Okay.
But this bridge crosses the Androscoggin. And he was the toll gate keeper.
Okay.
Now people cross this bridge without thinking anything about it. But that was a job he had many, many years ago. Now we are in the town of Canton.
I saw we need to pass Mexico, huh? New Mexico and Mexico.
Mexico, we will. I just took a different.
Oh, okay. I remember last time we tried to Mexico.
We went to Mexico.
Went to Mexico and see Rumford.
I don't think we went this way ever with you.
Okay, it's my first time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. It's another West Maine road again. See all the tree. Good tree.
Do you remember when we say when back from the war, while we were in the car driving to Moscow,
What did who say?
you,
What did I say after we got in the car?
yeah,
After you've been in the dorm for 6 weeks?
yeah,
Oh, what were we talking about?
we say something. I was talking.
What?
How much we missed you and loved you?
No, it says so nice to have a teenager back in the car.
Oh, because you were being very critical. What were you being critical about that time? It's always nice to have a little teenager in the car. And to our future selves, Yawan, we miss you very much being a teenager. Now that you're almost 30 years old,
You're down.
a young adult, how many boyfriends is this one?
Shush, 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 shush. That's a secret.
The man you're with, is that the one you going to marry?
What?
What? What are you talking about?
Should we tell him about Raymond? I'm just kidding. If you're with Yawen right now watching this, Raymond was a student that we teased her about. We met her, the mother of Raymond wanted to meet her because Raymond says, oh, boy, there's this really cute girl. She's so sweet. She helps me with my Chinese. So the mother says, I get to meet this girl.
I know her, his mother, since open house.
You met her at open house, but she forgot what you look like. So we tease her about this.
The calm guy, huh? The calm view. So can you tell me about the
way to Rumford, where I was raised. When my father finished fighting World War II in 1945, he was over in Germany, he was in Belgium, and he was in Luxembourg. He was even in France where he was wounded. But after the war, he joined the Merchant Marines for a little while, sailing around, and he ended up wanting to be back in Maine. And his brother, Warren, was back in Livermore at the time, and met this woman named Barbara. And Warren and Barbara were in love with each other, and they got married. And Warren said to Wally, my father, Wally, you should come back. Barbara has a younger sister named Ginny. I want you to meet her. So my father came back, and he got a job welding. And he got a job at the Rumford Mill as a welder. And he met my mother, Ginny, and they got married in 1950. So they were living in Rumford. They lived on a little house on Burgess Hill. We'll take a quick ride up there to show you the first house my father bought my mother. Very small place. And then in 1960, they were married in 1950. 1966, he bought us a house in downtown Rumford, a brand new house nobody ever lived in. 670 Kennebec Street. And at the same time, he bought a station wagon. The first time he bought a brand new car right off the lot, a Chevy Bel Air. Beautiful station wagon. What I remember about it is it had power windows in the back. That was really a new car. And a little construction here or something going on.
Okay, so keep doing.
So he always, my mother, I told you about her father being the toll taker and that type of thing. Well, he had land, and you saw that the property before that, and back then they didn't have much money, so they said, oh, here's a wedding present to you, Wally and Jen. I give you this 5 acres of land. Yes, I know, Shu. We found out after my mother sold the house, it wasn't quite 5 acres. But we always believed it was 5 acres. It was closer to a little under 3. It wasn't, whatever. So, every summer, we would go down and plant a big garden on that where the house sits today. We would raise tomatoes and cucumbers and squash and spinach and Swiss chard. And my father and my mother would can pickles, would can stewed tomatoes, would can beans, all sorts of stuff. And that's what we lived on all winter. And across the street is where my mother grew up. But as her parents got older, Warren and Barbara, the brother and sister that got married and introduced brother and sister, they lived there too. So
did they get 5 acres?
They got the whole farm.
Oh, okay. Oh, they get the whole farm.
Yeah, because they took care of the mother.
Oh, I see.
They moved in after the father died. So Ginny and Wally had to take care of 5 kids.
Okay.
Warren and Barbara had no kids. So they were living in Connecticut, and they came back to take care of my grandmother, Ginny and Barbara's mother. So for doing that, my grandmother gave them the farm. And so we used to go down, not just in the summertime, but in the winter, because they were very close. My father and his brother Warren and Barbara and my mother, they were very, very close. And because they didn't have any children, we were very close to Barbara, because we were like
you must
her
be very
children.
happy. You must just get out, go to
across the street. We were living up here
Okay.
in Rumford. We didn't. They didn't build the house until I graduated from high school. They wanted to do it earlier, but I was very spoiled. I was playing football. Rumford was a big town back then, Class A, and J was a little town, Class C. And I said, I don't want to.
Move to J.
My friends are in. So they waited. And literally the day that I graduated from high school, they moved everything out of the house in Rumford and built a new house that we just saw earlier in this video in J in 1976. And that's where my father and mother traveled to Rumford every day for the next 6 years at least. Until my father retired from the post office. He retired when he was 62. So, yeah, 1982, he would have been 62. He died at 68 in the living room of that house in J.
He's dying in the living room.
Yeah.
But Virginia tell everybody he's dying in the hospital.
Right. What they did is nobody could pronounce him dead. Only a doctor can say you're dead. So when they got to the hospital, they said you're dead. So my mother says he died at the hospital. But nobody knows when they're going to die. I hope I'm still here 10 years from now watching this video with you. If I'm not, don't worry. I'm in heaven with my mother, my father, and I'm waiting for everybody. I promise you. You know how come I can make that promise? Because God made that promise. And God cannot make promises that he doesn't keep. So anyway, we are now in West Peru.
Okay. So let me finish the asking. So after you guys moved into J, how about Barbara and
Warren? They were still living there, but my grandmother, my mother's mother, Elsie. Walter died in 1967. Elsie died in 1974. So Barbara and Warren were living in the farm by themselves. And so then.
Which year they died, Barbara?
Barbara? She didn't. She lived until like 2005.
How about your uncle?
Uncle Warren, he died in the late 80s. He died before my father, who died in 1990, and I think it was 1988, something like that.
Before they died, they sell the farm.
That is correct. Before they died.
Well, where they live after they sold.
My Uncle Warren got it's a very sad. I really think it was ALC, but we didn't know it then. He had a disease that he could not talk. He couldn't, and he kept getting. He couldn't walk. It all came on kind of slow, which I think was kind of like what your mother. But so he ended. That's what he ended up. So they sold, and she moved to Augusta.
She moved
closer to the hospital for his care.
I see.
And then she moved, after he died, she moved back to Jay to be closer to Ginny, because Ginny was now also, she moved back, and then shortly after she moved back, my father died. So the two sisters
Live together?
No, they didn't live together. My Aunt Barbara smoked, and my mother doesn't like to smoke. So Barbara lived in an apartment building in J. But came out, they went to church together, they played cards together, they still were very close. Now that's the Androscoggin River. Now it's on the right side of the car. Remember we crossed the bridge with my grandfather? So we're on the other side. We're actually on the same side of the river as my mother's house, because we crossed the bridge twice.
West Maine is very pretty, huh?
A lot of the leaves got blown off, though.
That's correct.
showed you the house in Rumford. I'm pretty sure I showed you,
I see the downtown one.
but not the country one.
No, only downtown one.
Okay. It's right here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I never been there. I just go to the downtown one.
And you met my uncle Jim today.
Yeah.
This is where he lives.
Oh, I see. He's still living here.
Yep.
He's your father's side, your mother's side.
Father's brother. So it's called Burgess Hill. I remember one time when after it freshly snowed, we skied down this whole hill with my father.
How do you get up?
Have to walk.
Down is fun.
Yeah.
Up is
I don't know. I have to walk when I do it.
When you ski down, a lot of fun, right?
Right.
Wow, it's a very big hill, huh?
There it's gone. Used to be a house there, it's gone. That's new.
Old house that they made.
All gone. This is the house. This is where I
Wow,
first.
that big?
It's not that big.
That one? It's brand new. They just
Well, they all fixed it up.
It's a 30.
This is where, when I was born in 1958, this is where I lived.
Wow, someone's here.
In the garage.
Wow, that's a big house. That looks so big.
It's a lot better now. They did a nice job.
Yeah, they fixed the house.
And that's my Uncle Jim and Beth.
He's still living here.
Yeah.
I need to come to say hello. Okay. Oh, it's a very big hill, huh?
Yeah.
Now you say when you ski here, it's
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But only down.
We skied out in that field before.
Where's the upstairs? It's just only
This used to be the St. Pierre's. Live here. And then there was a old dirt road that went out in there. We used to go for a walk out there.
Wow.
But now I don't see any dirt road. Oh, there it is.
Oh, I still see the dirt.
Yeah.
Wow. So look at the view. It's a mountain, big mountain, Yaman.
Used to be, these are all trees now, but from here, you used to be able to see downtown Rumford. You
Oh.
can see the mill.
Oh, I see the mill company. I see. I believe after they buy that house, they build they replace a lot of things. I maintain it a lot. So now this time there's an uncle's house.
Yeah.
Or Jamie's house.
It's all trees that have grown up. I just want to know what you can see from. Oh, can't see anything. All those trees are all
All the trees.
grown up.
Nothing can see. Nothing more can see. But it's nice. You need to say hello to Jamie.
Just spying around, Uncle Jim. Yeah, we did a ride by Ginny's house, and then we're gonna go out to Kennebec Street and
What did they do with that house? They sell it?
sold it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know it was sold. Somebody local around there?
I have no idea.
Oh,
They I think they sold at the right time
yeah. yeah.
because with a mill blowing up, I don't see a
Yeah.
great future for Jay. But
No, they must be just using craft.
yeah,